Hello, passionate gardeners. While the scorching summer brings us refreshing breaks, it's a harsh season for our garden crops. Intense sunlight and high temperatures accelerate water evaporation, and improper watering can lead to wilting or even death of your plants. Today, I'll provide detailed tips and precautions for watering your summer vegetable garden. Follow these guidelines to ensure a healthy and abundant harvest even in the heat of summer. 1. The importance of summer watering. Summer is the period when crop growth is fastest, and simultaneously, high temperatures lead to maximum water evaporation. Without sufficient water supply during this time, plants will suffer stress, their growth will be stunted, and they may even die. Signs of insufficient water. Leaves wilt and droop. Growth stops or slows down. Fruits become small or deformed. Flowers fail to bloom or fruits do not set properly. Plants become more susceptible to pests and diseases. Signs of excessive water. Roots may suffocate and rot. Nutrient leaching increases. Fungal diseases and other moisture-related ailments are more likely. Soil can become compacted, hindering root development. In essence, summer watering is not just about providing water, it's a critical factor determining the health and yield of your crops. 2. Summer vegetable garden watering tips. 2.1. Watering time. Before the sun gets hot, after sunset. Optimal times. Early morning before the sun gets too hot, or in the evening after the sun has completely set, are the best times. Reasons. Early morning. The soil, cooled overnight, has ample time to absorb water, and less water evaporates during the day, making it efficient. Plants receive enough hydration to last through the day. Late evening. It cools down the soil and plants heated during the day, reducing stress, and water slowly permeates overnight, reaching the roots. Times to avoid. Midday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Reasons. Watering at midday can cause water droplets to act like a magnifying glass on leaves under strong sunlight, leading to leaf burn, the water lens effect. Moreover, most of the water will evaporate before it can be absorbed by the soil, making it very inefficient. 2.2. Watering method. To the roots, not the leaves, and thoroughly. Directly to the roots, not the leaves. It's crucial to water the soil directly around the plant's base, rather than spraying water on the leaves or stems. Reasons. Water on leaves can promote fungal diseases and other moisture-related problems, and can cause leaf burn during midday. Slowly and deeply. When you water, do so slowly and thoroughly so that the water penetrates deep into the soil. Just wetting the surface soil is ineffective. Ensure water penetrates to a depth of 15 to 20 cm 6–8 inches. Watering can or hose. When using a watering can or hose, keep the water pressure low to avoid disturbing the soil. Be extra gentle with seedlings and young plants. Utilize water injectors. Using a water injector, by cutting off the bottom of a plastic bottle and inverting it into the soil, then filling it with water, allows water to slowly seep into the ground, which is an excellent method. 2.3. Watering amount and frequency. Tailor to crop, soil, and weather. Based on crop type. High water needs. Cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, lettuce, cabbage, and other leafy or fruiting vegetables require significant amounts of water. Low water needs. Beans, corn, sweet potatoes, and potatoes can thrive with relatively less water. Check soil condition. Determine when to water by checking how dry the surface soil is. Feel the topsoil or dig down 2 to 3 cm 1 inch with your finger. If it feels dry, it's time to water. Sandy, loamy soil. Drains quickly, so needs more frequent watering. Clayey soil. Retains water longer, so water less frequently. Consider weather conditions. Heatwave, drought, water daily or twice a day, morning, evening. Rainy season, cloudy days. Check soil moisture and only water minimally if necessary. Beware of overwatering. Windy days. Water evaporates faster due to wind, so pay more attention to watering. 3. Precautions for summer watering. 3.1. Prevent overwatering. Too much water can lead to root rot, fungal diseases, and poor soil aeration, which is detrimental to plant growth. Avoid watering again before the soil has had a chance to dry out completely from the previous watering. Ensure your soil drains well. Improve soil structure by adding compost or sawdust. 3.2. Minimize water contact with leaves. Especially for plants with dense foliage like cucumbers and tomatoes, water droplets on leaves can easily become breeding grounds for pathogens. Always supply water directly to the soil. 3.3. Water temperature. It's better to use lukewarm water, e.g., water that has been left out for a while, rather than very cold tap water. Sudden temperature changes can stress plants. If possible, collecting and using rainwater is ideal. Rainwater is free of chlorine and contains nitrogen from the air, which benefits plant growth. 3.4. Utilize mulching. Mulching, covering the garden surface with straw, fallen leaves, or grass, is very effective for summer water management. Benefits. Suppresses water evaporation, excellent for retaining soil moisture. Inhibits soil temperature rise, protects the soil from hot sun, reducing root stress. Suppresses weed growth, reduces unnecessary competition for nutrients. Prevents soil erosion, stops soil from being washed away during rain. 3.5. Adjust watering by growth stage. Sowing, transplanting stage, consistent and sufficient water supply is needed for root establishment. Flowering, fruiting stage, this is when plants need the most water. Insufficient water can cause flowers to drop or fruits to fail to set properly. Harvesting stage, excessive water can reduce fruit sweetness or storage life, so it's best to reduce or stop watering just before harvest, varies by crop. 3.6. Prepare for the rainy season. Overwatering damage is most severe during the rainy season. Ensure your garden has good drainage and dig deep furrows to prevent water from pooling. If heavy rain is forecast, water thoroughly beforehand, then temporarily stop watering while it's raining continuously. Conclusion. Summer garden watering is not just an act of providing water, it's both a science and an art. The wisdom of flexibly adjusting your watering strategy based on the type of crop, soil conditions, and weather changes is crucial. Remember the tips and precautions shared today, and may your summer garden be filled with vibrant life and bountiful harvests. I hope this was helpful. Please also subscribe, like, and set notifications. I'll come back with better information. Thank you.